Recognizing the member for Richmond South Centre.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I want to start by thanking and expressing my full support to the MLA for Chilliwack Kent for introducing the bill that be resolved that the House commit to advance the rights of women, girls, transgender diverse and two-spirited people and building an inclusive province for all. I would like to start my speech on a positive note. Recently, my family welcomed a brand new addition to my family. My son was born in early September this year. His arrival brought joy and unfortunately stress to our family. With 2 under 2, my wife and I had to replan everything in our life to support both children. It is an overwhelming challenge that taxes every aspect of our lives to the limit. The reality is, my wife and I are both lucky and privileged. We both have strong careers to pursue and loving extended families supporting from the sideline. Yet for many other families, it is a Herculean effort that demands unwavering sacrifice from at least one of the 2 parents. Frequently, the sacrificial responsibilities falls onto the mother. It is exponentially more difficult for single mothers to balance personal life and childcare. Childcare is one of the most challenging barriers for equity today. That's why I'm thrilled about ChildCareBC Plan. Since 2018, our government has invested over $2.4 billion to build an affordable, accessible, high-quality, I've turned 2 pages at the same time, childcare system to ensure that families, especially women, can participate in the workforce, advance their education, pursue a career, and most of all, define a life balance on options and preferences, not on limitations, inequality due to gender. And as a Richmond Child Care Service recipient, I too am deeply grateful for the investment. Although there's much more work to do, our provincial government has accomplished much in the child care front. I know many young Richmond South Centre families look forward to affordable, accessible, and high-quality child care to provide much-needed relief so they can thrive here in BC as well. Before I was honoured by constituents of Richmond South Centre to serve as an MLA, I had the privilege to work as the Community Resource Navigator for BC 211. However, calls involve individuals trying to flee domestic violence were truly heartbreaking to handle. Callers often experience multiple forms of abuse: physical, verbal, emotional, sexual, and financial, many of which callers endure for extensive period of time before they find the courage to reach out. Financial dependency, societal shame, child separation, emotional blackmail, threats of violence, and legal status are all reasons why many individuals tolerate abuse and delay reaching out for help. When a caller finally finds the courage to reach out, the most heartbreaking answer I hate to provide from time to time is the transition house in your area is full. I'm glad our provincial government takes gender-based violence seriously. Tens of thousands of people who are experiencing or have experienced gender-based violence are getting counseling and other assistance they need through the over 400 victim services and violence against women programs across BC. We introduced paid leave for people facing domestic and sexual violence and job training specifically for survivors of violence and abuse. $100,000 for more than a bystander campaign to support violence prevention program. $10 million provided to End Violence Association of BC to support emergency sexual assault services. In our 2022 budget, we're providing core funding to more than 50 sexual assault services undoing cuts that were made to these critical services in 2002. We put survivors first. BC Women's Transition House Fund provides $734 million over the next 10 years to build 1,500 new transition homes for women fleeing violence. There's more work to do, and our provincial government is committed to end gender-based violence. On a positive note, we're working to build a province where everyone can thrive. I'm glad our government is expanding women's access to education and training in STEM through programs and funding, including a $250,000 grant to Achieving Anything Foundation. We're also expanding opportunities under the new community benefit agreements so that women, youth, and Indigenous people will have access to employment, training, apprenticeship opportunities on major infrastructure projects. Furthermore, closing the gender gap is extremely important, which is why we're moving forward with a commitment to introduce pay transparency legislation. Our government is committed to support our equality, equity, and justice for all. British Columbia. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, member.